You get over $6,000 a month. Is that correct? Between the child support and the spousal support?
Yes, and unfortunately, he has not been able to make those payments.
Shannon is a very calculated person. She doesn't show it on camera, but she's very calculated and very smart, and she tries to dig up dirt on people before every reunion. Shannon asked me, do you know anybody that can look into this lawsuit? And I go, well, I have a friend that's a lawyer. I can maybe have him check it. And if Shannon would have showed Jenn the entire text message, oh, that's right, it would incriminate Shannon.
Welcome back to Celebrity News Addict. I can't wait to get into the juicy drama I have for you today. In this video, we're diving into everything we know so far about Jenn Pedranti's ongoing financial battles with her ex-husband Will, including her shocking leaked texts and claims of harassment, as well as Jenn's bombshell engagement to Boyajian in Thursday's season finale, plus the revelation of yet more legal accusations against Ryan, and how Tamra and Shannon were involved in exposing it all. There's a lot of twists and turns in this one, guys, from background checks to leaked texts, harassment accusations, Jenn's unexpected RHOC salary reveal, and a lot of finger pointing. There's a lot to unpack, and I've got the full timeline of everything we know so far, so let's get straight into it. Before we dive in, I'd like to ask you a massive favour to please subscribe if you're new to this channel. I release new videos on reality TV news and behind the scenes drama every other week, and I'll be following these stories closely to make sure I bring you further updates as they happen. So please like this video, comment below what you want to see next, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to follow on with the messy, non-stop drama. So, let's start at the beginning with how everything went down with Jenn and her now ex-husband, William Pedranti, as this sets the scene for the mountain of messy drama and harassment claims to follow. Jenn and Will got married back in September 2002 and had 5 children together: Dominic, Everly, Dawson, Grayson, and Harrison. Throughout their 19 years together, the couple drifted apart, and Jennifer ended up moving from their Oklahoma home to Orange County with their kids, but without Will. Then, in 2021, Jenn and Will officially called time on their 19-year relationship. By the time Jenn was cast on season 17 of RHOC, which started filming in 2022, she was dating Ryan, separated from Will, but weirdly still sharing a house with him. In the season 17 premiere, which aired on June 7th, 2023, Jenn said, quote, "My ex-husband Will is living in Oklahoma, working for my family's business. Instead of moving the kids back and forth all the time, when he comes in town, I stay at Ryan's, and then he's in the house. Do I understand it's weird? Yes. But it is just how we're navigating it right now." Then, as filming started in March 2022, Will filed for divorce from Jenn, and the couple spent the next 2.5 years battling through increasingly messy divorce proceedings, which weren't signed until June this year. This is where things start to get juicy. We all know divorces can be long and painful, and this one was no different. The main points of contention: child custody and a lot of financial drama. When it comes to custody of the pair's 5 children, according to reports from Radar Online, Jenn filed for sole custody of 4 of their children who were still minors at the time of the filing: Grayson, Dawson, Everly, and Dominic. Though the couple ultimately settled for shared legal custody, with the kids living with Jenn but allowing Will visitation rights. The next item on the list, and it seems the cause of all the hold-ups and battles, which are still ongoing and only getting messier, was spousal support and child support. Jenn requested temporary child and spousal support alongside $20,000 in legal fees. In a statement in the filing, Jenn's attorney wrote, quote, "3 years ago, Jenn became a co-owner of a yoga studio, and more recently, she joined the cast of The Real Housewives of Orange County." He added, "Jennifer would not be able to earn enough money to maintain the standard of living that was established during their marriage. Jennifer requires assistance to cover essential living expenses for herself and her children, such as rent, food, and educational costs. While the petitioner, William, currently covers healthcare expenses, additional support is needed to meet the financial requirements for the children's activities, as well as their food and clothing expenses." But it seems Will didn't agree, as this battle of the finances is still ongoing. On October 4th, 2023, Jenn said on an interview with Entertainment Tonight, quote, "I don't know what the problem is. Will has completely moved on in a beautiful relationship. I don't know what the holdup is. It makes 0 sense to me. He wants to do it where we're on the up and up. No fighting, yet documents just never get turned in. So it's like a forever holding pattern." After a lot of back and forth, in June 2024, the pair finally reached an agreement and Jenn was awarded a total of $6,000 per month from Will in child and spousal support, with $1,735 for spousal support and the remaining $4,674 for child support. But things were far from over, as it didn't take long for Will to fall behind on his terms of the agreement. In an interview on SiriusXM's Jeff Lewis Live, Jenn revealed Will wasn't paying her the money he'd agreed. Check this out.
You get over $6,000 a month, is that correct? Between the child support and the spousal support?
Yes, and unfortunately, he has not been able to make those payments. I wish he and I could communicate. It's a point of contention for Ryan and I, because Ryan's like, why do you not hold his ass to the fire? He's the dad of my kids, so there's like a line of trying to be sympathetic to it.
Now, I'd also read that you were entitled to a lump sum of over $500,000. Did you get that money?
So it's $200,000. It was from a portion of the sale of our home, and no, I have not got any of it.
Oh my God. So what's the point of settling all this if he's not honoring his commitment?
So, clearly, Jenn had no choice but to return to divorce court just a couple of months after reaching a settlement with Will. On 1st of October this year, now 3 years in, Jenn demanded that Will undergo financial examination in court, claiming that she needed more detail on his finances for the, quote, enforcement of a money judgment against him. In statements to the court, Jenn revealed that Will owes her a lump sum of $267,000 from the sale of their home and is not financially contributing to their 4 children's expenses. She said that William is, quote, behind approximately $22,000 in his support obligation to me and the kids. In her request to the court, Jenn shared that she was evicted from her home due to their inability to pay rent, and blames this on the fact that Will never paid her the money he owed for the sale of their shared home. She said, quote, had I received my half portion of the proceeds when William received it, which I should have done, I would have had the ability to pay my lease, and I would not have been evicted. Jenn also went deep into the financial strain she's feeling following the divorce and exposed her Bravo salary. She stated that her Bravo salary and her yoga studio are her main sources of income, revealing that she makes $7,500 per episode of RHOC, which amounts to a total of $150,000 for the full 20-episode season. This is slightly less than I'd expected, to be honest. What do you guys think of this salary? Jenn added that she earned $15,000 in September this year from the show and her yoga studio, and her average income is $10,740 per month. Meanwhile, she revealed a slightly outrageous breakdown of her expenses. According to a report in In Touch Weekly, Jenn claims that each month she spends, quote, $3,000 on groceries, $500 on healthcare, $250 on childcare, $1,750 on eating out, $75 for her phone, $100 on cleaning, $2,000 on clothes, $500 on entertainment, $1,471 on car expenses, $130 on a pet, $125 for a gym membership, and $1,000 on other expenses for the kids, equaling a grand total of $10,914. Notably, this is more than Jenn's average income. Jenn also revealed that she's struggling since she has very little savings, which has led her to not only getting evicted, but to owing Ryan $5,000 for a loan and another $40,000 to her parents. Reviewing Jenn's documents, Judge Julie Palafox granted her request, and the court scheduled the financial examination for 8:30 a.m. on October 21st. Ordering Will to show up in court with paperwork to aid Jennifer in collecting the money he owed her. The notice to Will said, quote, if you fail to appear at the time and place specified in this order, you may be subject to arrest and punishment for contempt of court, and the court may make an order requiring you to pay the reasonable attorney fees incurred by the judgment creditor in this proceeding. Now, this is where things get even spicier, and to be honest, quite sad. Remember Jenn's claims that she got evicted due to Will's inability to pay the financial support he agreed? Well, in the hearing just last week on October 21st, Will claimed that he had a few reasons for not paying spousal or child support. The first being that Jenn lives with Ryan, the second that their son Dawson now lives with him, and the third that he had a, quote, significant reduction in income due to his, quote, employer needing to conserve capital resources. Let's address these one by one. So, when it comes to Jenn living with Ryan, Will told the court, quote, Jennifer still lives with Ryan, and I believe has little to no living expenses due to this living arrangement. Jenn fought back on this to the courts, writing, quote, I believe it is unfair to terminate spousal support because I am cohabitating with Ryan. The only reason I am cohabitating with Ryan is because William left me with no other option, i.e., he failed to pay what he owed her, so she couldn't afford to pay her rent. She added that had she received the $276,000 Will owed her for the sale of their home, then, quote, I would have had the means to secure my own place without Ryan. She added, it would not be equitable for the court to consider my cohabitation with Ryan as a basis to end my support when William's bad conduct forced me to do so. Jenn also explained that Will already knew she was living with Ryan when they came to an agreement, stating, quote, furthermore, William was also aware at the time we entered the judgment that I was cohabitating with Ryan. Therefore, it is not a change of circumstance warranting consideration to terminate spousal support. However, Will's statement argued back on this, that it was Jenn's bad decisions that led her to her eviction. He wrote, quote, I am not a party to the lease agreement. Jennifer signed the lease agreement without first notifying me. If she had notified me beforehand, I would have not agreed to the terms of the lease, particularly the amount. We agreed to an uneven split of the amount of the rent since the children would be living there. Jennifer was not able to contribute anything toward the rent, and therefore the rent was not able to be paid in full. On to point 2. Will revealed that Dawson began living with him in March and that he covers his expenses in full, including his car payment, auto insurance, health insurance, phone bill, gas, and food. Because of this, William wants his child support reduced by $587 per month. However, Jenn's attorney argued back on this too, saying, quote, Jennifer would not be able to earn enough money to maintain the standard of living that was established during their marriage. Jennifer supported William's career aspirations as an attorney. She is the primary caregiver for their children aged 9 to 17. Increasing the work hours beyond the current schedule would conflict with the best interests of the children. While in her own statement, Jenn said, quote, while William currently covers healthcare expenses, additional support is needed to meet the financial requirements for the children's activities, as well as their food and clothing expenses. Finally, when it comes to point 3, Will alleged he had taken a significant reduction in income. According to court documents obtained by In Touch Weekly on October 21st, William, who is an attorney and the CEO of Visjenks, said he made $5,546 in wages and $12,740 in self-employment income in September, and has $14,320 in monthly expenses. Jenn fought back on this as well, by pulling Will's income declarations into question. She said, quote, it should be noted William can apparently pay $2,300 per month for his car, but not pay court-ordered support. So, while the financial disagreements are still going back and forth, there's even more toxic drama still to come, as Will's latest court documents accuse Jenn of harassing him and trying to meet face-to-face after he has asked her to stop. Referring to 2 visits he received from Jenn, Will said, quote, this is harassment and an invasion of my privacy. He added, Jennifer has consistently harassed me to try to meet in person, despite me repeatedly asking her to stop. Will went on to argue that not only is Jenn harassing him, but she has also allegedly violated a provision in their divorce that required they don't speak badly of each other by speaking about him on RHOC. In his court document, Will wrote, quote, Jennifer made multiple disparaging comments and lies about me on the Bravo TV show, as well as in national media interviews, including negative comments about my relationship with my kids. My reputation has been adversely affected by this. I have also had to have conversations with the children about it as well. Alongside these claims, Will submitted text and emails as evidence to court. In one alleged exchange from January, the two spoke about their son's volleyball tournament, where at one point in the conversation, Jennifer said to Will, quote, better be careful with that ego of yours. While in one message that he sent Jennifer in April, he said, quote, if you continue to harass me, I will take it up with the court. In another message, dated May 22nd, Jennifer told William, quote, but your rude attitude, complete dismissal of me when I'm speaking, and dick behaviour in front of our kids is embarrassing. Another undated text from Jennifer to William read, quote, really, you're a joke. I'm on the fucking brink, Will. You use me. You use me every single time you are home. I'm trying to communicate with you. When the show asks about your dumbass girlfriend, I say how wonderful she is. She's a fucking fool. I take up for you. Say what an amazing dad you are. I ask you every time you're home, let's talk. Can we have a minute? In response to Will leaking these texts, Jenn did what every RHOC housewife does and took to the Instagram comments to defend herself, saying, quote, "It's funny, I went to his door asking if he ever intended paying the support for his kids and I. He blocks all forms of communication and uses our children's phones to communicate. I've actually never spoken the real truth and have protected a lot that has gone on. Truly unbelievable." She also went on to deny disparaging Will in court, saying, quote, "William will not communicate with me at all about our children and simply ignores me when I post on our Family Wizard about the kids. Family Wizard is the court application that the pair were ordered to communicate on." She continued, "The court will note none of my messages are harassing, mean, or disparaging. Please also note William has not responded to one of my several messages." Jenn added, "If William would communicate with me, I would not need to go to his house or try to communicate with him live. However, when he does not follow custody orders and ignores me on our Family Wizard, it makes it extremely difficult to coordinate how to get the kids to where they need to go, or to find out if he will exercise his parenting time or not." So, it seems everything is up in the air for Jenn and Will, and it's unclear who's going to come out on top, and the addition of Ryan is only making this messier. Further court dates have been set, so this toxic mess is going to continue playing out, and I'll be sure to keep bringing you updates on this heartbreaking case. But don't go anywhere, as the story is far from over. All of this comes against the backdrop of Jenn's engagement to Ryan, who is suffering through his own legal drama. Let's get into it. Alongside Jenn's messy divorce and accusations of Ryan's involvement in a $16 million embezzlement case, which we touched on in our previous videos, Ryan is also facing yet more legal accusations thanks to Tamra Judge and Shannon Beador. This season, Tamra has been intent on digging up dirt on everyone she can, with a special target on Ryan. Not only did she allege his house was invaded by the FBI, but she's also now suggesting he was involved in a shady timeshare lawsuit years ago, and potentially money laundering too. In last week's episode, Tamra revealed that a couple of years ago, someone came up to her in the gym and told her that Ryan was involved in a timeshare lawsuit where he allegedly collected homeowners association fees for properties that were never built, and people went to jail because of it. Check this out.
2 years ago, I'm at the gym. This guy came up to me and goes, "Oh my God, I was friends with Ryan. I cannot believe that he would show his face after he was named in a lawsuit about selling timeshares in another country, and they weren't building them, and they were collecting the HOA money beforehand. People went to jail for it."
According to Tamra, it was Shannon who actually wanted to look into this lawsuit, as supposedly Leslie Beador's ex-husband was implicated in it and she wanted the dirt. Tamra, forever loyal to no one, then brought out shocking text evidence against Shannon to prove that she was the ringleader and wanted to learn more about Ryan's involvement, not Tamra. The screenshots aired on RHOC said, quote, "Tamra, Eddie said to send the info in writing to production so you have a paper trail. Shannon, apparently blank is suing blank for back child support. Can your friend look up the case?" Ending with Tamra saying, quote, "I'm asking my friend's husband if he can do a background check." And this was the only part that Shannon had shared with Jenn when she was trying to make it look like Tamra was the ringleader. I don't know how much can be taken from this, to be honest. Clearly, Shannon stated the suggestion of a background check, but it sounds like Tamra already knew something, as she immediately responded that he's allegedly, quote, "dangerous." And then Tamra agreed to get her friend to do the background check. So, to me, they're both as bad as each other and equally guilty. So anyway, while Tamra and Shannon were busy throwing each other and Ryan under the bus, Jenn, of course, was quick to back her man yet again. In a recent interview with Access Hollywood, she insisted that Ryan has been open about the situation with her and with their friends, and that he was not involved in the timeshare scheme. Watch this.
This was not like some bomb that dropped on Ryan and I. We've been going through this with our best friends for a long time, and it's not Ryan. It's unfortunate that my platform brought his name to light in it, but you just got to give it time. Ryan's not involved in it.
And, unsurprisingly, in yet more toxic drama, digging into Ryan's past isn't the only thing Tamra is accusing Shannon of doing. In fact, apparently they're both experts with a shovel, as Tamra then went on to accuse Shannon of having Gina investigated over allegations that she had pushed her boyfriend Travis down the stairs. In an interview with Bravo, Tamra said, quote, "Shannon doesn't show it on camera, but she's very calculated and very smart, and she tries to dig up dirt on people before every reunion or even before filming." She added that when she was out boating with Taylor Armstrong and her husband John Bluer, Shannon had asked Taylor's husband to look up information on Gina pushing Travis down the stairs. Tamra said, quote, "I was not there. I had nothing to do with it, but Shannon had called me the night before the reunion and told me what she was doing. And she said Taylor called her and said John doesn't want to get involved." Obviously, Shannon defended herself, claiming that Tamra was the one that told Shannon the story about Gina pushing Travis in the first place. But Tamra argued she had nothing to do with it, given she wasn't speaking to Shannon back in 2022 when all of this was going on. So basically, everyone is digging up dirt on everyone and casting blame on each other. It really is, as we're seeing more and more with RHOC and the other franchises, just turning into a contest of who can sue who or uncover the messiest part of someone else's past to take the focus away from all the heat they're getting or shady things they're doing. Anyway, what do you guys think? I'd love to hear your opinions. Who is really at fault here? Was Shannon digging for dirt to use against Jennifer and Gina? I feel like when it comes to Jen, maybe Shannon just wanted the gossip on the woman who was married to her ex-husband and got more than she bargained for when Ryan was tied up in the same suit and then couldn't look away. But the Gina thing is harder to excuse. And Tamra is just being Tamra and trying to pass the blame as usual. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That's it for today's video. If you haven't yet, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more celebrity news and updates on these cases as they happen. Thanks for watching.